4 Juliet Alpha Papa.
Roger, Roger, Alpha Papa, what's the name?
Roger, Roger, Alpha Papa, what's the name?
The name is John, Juliet Oscar Hotel November, and I'm located in North Georgia.
Roger, John, and what radio are you running, sir?
Roger, John, and what radio are you running, sir?
All right, you were running testing a 7300 last one. This is a 7300 Mark 2. And I have a 7300 as well, but I got the Mark II, and this is connected to a high ICM microphone.
Roger, Roger, John. Well, first thing would be to be sure you're in that transmit bandwidth called wide. It's 100 to 2900. Transmit bandwidth, wide, TBW, 100 to 2900. That will allow your transmitter to be all that it can be, and then give you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation, Roger.
Daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, I'm on the wide. I do have the mic gain at 40% and the compression at 3. So I'm just curious. I have another radio that I usually compare this one to. Since I got it, it's a FTDX10 Yaesu. They're microphones. But anyway, is this one just in general about where you would say is a pleasing armchair copy?
Roger, we're getting there. The next thing after your compression on at a 3 would be your transmit band, your ALC meter, and we want to set that as you say the magic word audio. You become a human test tone generator. So you're sitting there with your mic gain control in hand. As you say the word audio, you look at your ALC meter, and you want to be in that sweet spot of 7 or 2/3. So 7 or 2/3 as you say the word audio, and speak it as you would speak any other word in a QSO. Don't stress it, just say it, Roger.
The word in a QSO, don't stress it, just say it, Roger.
Roger, Roger, testing the audio. 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Audio. 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 And generally it's about 2/3 to 70%, but on some of the more plosive sounds it seems to be jumping up almost to the top of the ALC.
Roger, Roger. Well, you want to keep your ALC out and make sure that it doesn't get into the red. You want to stay at that, try to keep it in that sweet spot of 7 or 2/3. That's the game. And the consistency is what's going to make the difference there. So, you know, a 7 or 2/3 on your ALC. And just, I would keep your ALC meter out, and you would have something to do as you talk to your friends and neighbors. And the whole, like I say, the whole game is to keep your peaks in the sweet spot of 7 or 2/3 on your ALC, Roger.
In the sweet spot of 7 or 2/3 on your ALC, Roger.
Roger, Roger. That seems to be about where it is landing, and I'm standing about.
Of course, you know, this is getting right into it here, but right about here, it gives me about 2/3 on the ALC scale.
Yes, sir. And I'm looking at your signal on the output of my 7300. I have a frequency meter on the output, and I'm looking at your curve. And gosh, it really got interesting when you were in there closer to that mic. You really had a heavy bottom end, but it was nice. I really enjoyed it. I'm sitting here with you know, a house system with a subwoofer that goes down to 40 cycles, so I can hear these things that are going on, Roger, Roger, and that 7300 is good for 100 cycles on the bottom end of the transmit and receive circuit. So it's just all in all great, Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger. Thank you much. All right, if you have time, just very quickly, I'm going to switch radios. I have them set up fairly similarly, I think, with using headphones to adjust the audio, but let me do a switch here and see what you think compared to this one. Again, this is a Mark II version of the 7300. Stand by.
Roger, Roger. Standing by. Kind of lost you there. It sounded like you might have had your PA, your speaker on, monitor on. You want to make sure that's off.
Whoops, that's the speaker on the other radio. Sorry about that. N4JAP. Now, this is the Yaesu FTDX10, right next to the 7300 Mark II that you heard.
Oh, Roger. Both are delicious. Both are just perfect. I wouldn't change anything. Like I say, I'm copying the mail on my 7300, and your curve is just beautiful, Roger. Tell me about the best thing you like about your new 7300, that Mark II.
Yeah, so the Mark II, I think very, very similar performance, receiver-wise and all, to the 7300. The two most noticeable changes to the receiver, to my ear, are number one, the IP plus function actually does help make a pretty good difference when bands are crowded. I'm trying to copy a weak signal, and there's a really loud signal banging away 2 or 3 kc away. You know, if I filter down to filter 2, which is 2.4K wide, and the IP plus engaged, I have a really nice smooth copy of the weak signal with the strong one, not causing any distortion. Of course, the strong one, especially if they're splattering, is still going to be in that pass band, but I can copy the weak one. The other thing that I noticed that is most noticeably changed on the Mark II is the digital noise reduction and the noise blanker. They work very, very well with no watery artifacts, and just very comfortable to listen to when the band gets noisy. I usually don't listen to digital noise reduction at all, but when I have to, I will say the Mark II has an edge on the DNR circuit, which I guess it makes sense because they had to change some of their components and source some new components.
Yeah, Roger. I just did not run any noise reduction or blanking. It just was not up to what I thought it should be. So I've always run this receiver without a noise blank or noise reduction, and also in that the slow AGC front end. It works really good there, and protected fairly well. And what I do is I have got my audio control and my RF control fully attenuated, locked together, and then come back up and adjusted for needed audio level. So the RF level and the audio level are coming together, as opposed to having all the way up on the RF level and then coming up on the audio level. So, and it's worked out really well. I haven't had a distorted signal on my behalf for about 6 years, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. I very seldomly use the digital noise reduction or noise blanker. I live in an urban area in a small town, but there's just a ton of noise in the neighborhood, and especially on 10 meters. So when I'm on 10 meters, I hit that noise blanker, and it wipes everything out, and for the most part, no distortion. So again, this second radio that I'm on is the FTDX10, and I am using a Heil PR30 microphone and a little bit of EQing with a parametric built in on the Yaesu. I originally wanted a PR40 years ago, and I met Bob Heil at the Huntsville Hamfest. He was with the Gigaparts folks, and he had a nice display stand, and he talked to me about his microphones, and I thought I wanted a 40, and so we had a little demonstration there, and the 40 sounded a little bit boomy or mushy on my voice for whatever reason, and then he said, well, here, try this 30. I tried the 30, and that's the one I went with. So anyway, he was a good fellow, very approachable, easy to talk with, and had some very interesting stories to tell of his years in the music business. So, but anyway, I know there's other folks listening, so I just wanted to get your ear listening to the difference between the new Mark II and then the FTDX10. A lot of people have been asking me to compare these two. So, N4JAP, back to you.
Roger, Roger, John. Well, we have some inconsiderate folks there that love to deliberately QRM on an active frequency. They do not have the ability to speak intelligently, so all they can do is make noise, but so goes the world. I think you'll enjoy your recording. Like I say, I've been mainly on the output of my 7300 for quite a bit of the QSO, and I have a chevron on the right side of the screen that will tell me and you where I'm listening from at the moment. It's called an input source indicator, and so I have my 7300 up there, and then I have my SDRs. So I have moved around a little bit around the country with my SDRs, so it should be noted on that input source indicator. Also, I'm running a spectrum analyzer tied to the output of the audio. So when I'm on my 7300, the spectrum analyzer is looking at the output audio of my 7300, and the spectrum analyzer has 3 white marks on it. The furthest mark to the left is 100 cycles. The first mark to the right is 1 kc. Then there's a blank space of black, which is 2 kc, and then the next white mark is 4 kc or thereabouts, in the ballpark there. So you can see your audio curve fairly nicely, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, I will check that out. And just to make sure I have your call sign right, is it Kilowatt Charlie 9 Victor Kilowatt? Did I get that right?
Roger, Victor Kilowatt Victor, VKV.
VKV, all right, I knew I left something out here. Sometimes I have a hard time reading my own writing. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I've heard you on the air before. It's probably been on this frequency. And I have always enjoyed your input, and I've also enjoyed listening to the different radios and microphones and voices that are out there, because, you know, all the voices are different, and different mics and radios work with different voices. So best of 73 to you. Thanks for your time, and Happy New Year. KC9VKV, N4JAP.
Roger, Roger, John, 73, sir. And if you get a chance, I'm on a foam windscreen kick. I think every mic in the world should be running a foam input control, because the thing is, you want to divert the some of those wind velocities before they get to your mic element, and a foam windscreen just does such a beautiful job as far as getting rid of all of the garbage before it gets to your mic element. Roger?
Yeah, Roger, QSL. All right, well, thank you, and have fun, and I know there's probably other folks waiting, so I appreciate your time. KC9VKV, N4JAP. So long.
Roger, John, 73, sir. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.